this is Daddy from Busy Daddy Cooks. Today we are stir frying beef and bitter gourd. Some of you may not like the bitterness of a bitter gourd. In this video, I'll show you how to remove the bitterness. Then, cook a classic Chinese stir fry, beef with bitter gourd. Let's start by preparing the bitter gourd. The first thing you need to do is to choose a bitter gourd that's not so bitter. How do you do that? Pick a less mature bitter gourd. This is because the older it gets, the more bitter it becomes. So, a less mature bitter gourd is one that is darker in color, has a thicker skin, and the grooves are further apart. Cut the ends of the bitter gourd. Then, split it in half lengthwise. Next, use a spoon to remove all the seeds. There's a thick layer of white padding. Remove this as much as you can. Then, cut them into about half cm thick slices. Next, add in some salt. And mix this really well. Be gentle and try not to break the bitter gourd up into even smaller pieces. Once you have salted the bitter gourd, set it aside for about 30 to 40 minutes. This will allow time for the salt to draw all the water and the bitterness. While waiting for the salted bitter gourd to be ready, let's prepare the beef. I have here a piece of beef chuck. Not the most tender of beef cuts, but this is not a problem. This is how you make beef more tender. Look at the grain of the beef. The grain of the beef runs this way. You would want to cut the beef against the grain, which means this way. Cut the beef into thin slices. Next, we'll marinate the beef with some soy sauce, corn flour, and some water. Mix all this really well. Now, notice the amount of water in the bowl. Keep mixing the beef till all the water has been absorbed into the beef itself. And the bottom of the bowl is dry. Something like this. Now, set it aside. By the way, the amount of ingredients to use is listed in the description below. For the aromatics, roughly chop up some garlic. Cut up about the same amount of ginger into strips. Pat down the white part of some spring onions. Then cut them up. You will also need some fermented black beans. Next, let's prepare the sauce. Mix together oyster sauce, light soya sauce, dark soya sauce, sugar, and some water. You will also need some corn flour, which we will mix together with some water to form a slurry. Now, back to the bitter gourd. After 30 to 40 minutes, you will find that there are lots of water at the bottom of the bowl. And the texture of the bitter gourd is softer than before. Drain away the water. Rinse the bitter gourd with fresh water and try to squeeze out as much of the water as you can. Then drain it dry. Now that you have prepared the bitter gourd, the beef, the aromatics, and the sauce, we can start stir frying. Put your pan over a medium heat. When the pan is hot, add in the oil. When the oil is hot, add in your aromatics. That's the ginger, the garlic, the white part of the spring onions, and the fermented black beans. Stir fry this till everything is fragrant. When you can smell the aromatics, add in the beef. Fry the beef till it changes color. Then add in the bitter gourd. Next, add in some water. And bring this to a boil. Then lower the heat to a simmer and cover. Simmer all this for about 10 minutes. Add more water if the liquid in the pan dries up. After 10 minutes, there should be only a little gravy left at the bottom of the pan. Add in the sauce. Bring the sauce to a boil and keep it boiling till you reduce the liquid in the pan by about half. Add in your corn flour slurry. Give all this a good mix. taste, and adjust for seasoning. When this is the way you want it to be, turn off the heat. Finish this off with a splash of Chinese cooking wine around the sides of the hot pan. This is stir-fry beef with bitter gourd.